This week on the show,
taking on Manila's traffic hell.
10 pesos. So how the system seems to work is, as the people come on, the money starts to flow, and it all comes through me. Because you don't want a distracted driver, because the traffic here is a little bit crazy.
The Filipinos who feed your body and soul.
It's designed scientifically and nutritionally to make you happy and calm.
And 300 years of New Orleans. Ah, the lovely Philippines. With thousands of pristine beachy islands and acres of virgin rainforest, I've had some very happy times here. But not many people come here for the attractions of the capital, Manila, the most densely populated city in the world.
One of the first things you realize when you land in Manila is the traffic is awful.
With no metro and a very limited bus and train service, the backbone of its public transport is currently this. It's a jeepney. The design's modeled on the US Jeeps that were abandoned here and repurposed after the Second World War. To this day, they're still the best way to get around. The problem is, the system's quite tricky for a newcomer to get to grips with.
Okay, as I weave my way through the traffic that's now on the sidewalk, I'm looking for one that says Libertad. And so there should be, in paint, on one of these, the place I'm looking for. Libertad. This must be it. If you have a smartphone, it makes things a lot easier. There's an app called Sakay.ph where you can put your origin and your destination. So in this case, Intramuros is where we are. We want to go to Libertad. It tells us to walk to right here, where the jeepneys are. The ride's going to be an hour. It's going to be about a US $1. That's not bad, actually. It's pretty cheap.
We're taking this journey on a weekend when the roads are quieter. During the week, the jams can go on for miles. And I soon discover that if you sit right behind the driver, you're expected to help him out.
10 pesos. So how the system seems to work is, as the people come on, the money starts to flow, and it all comes through me. Because you don't want a distracted driver, especially in the streets of Manila, because the traffic here is a little bit crazy. So it is my first time on a jeepney today.
Okay.
I am wondering if you have any tips for me.
It's better to sit beside the driver.
Because more fresh air.
It's more fresh air. At the same time, it will prevent the whiplash effect of the long jeepney.
I see. So
the whiplash effect.
Almost like a fish's tail, right? Okay. So it's more stable in the front.
Keep your bag.
Keep your bags close.
Yeah. Always. It's always.
Always here.
Yeah.
If you want to tell the driver to stop, just stop and tap on the roof.
One more time. So let's go.
No, that's stop.
That's stop.
2 is go.
And let's go. I can do that maybe about 6 times before my fingernail feels like it wants to pop right off.
And as if this wasn't all complicated enough, these old workhorses are currently being phased out. Around 200,000 of the most polluting vehicles are being replaced by cleaner models. And those plans have sparked protests and strikes from the drivers who worry that, despite schemes designed to help them, many won't be able to afford to replace their current vehicle. Some are concerned for their job.
I'm a long-time driver, since my father is a jeepney driver.
But for me, it's so sad. This is the Philippine culture, Philippine trademark. Why?
This is going to be like Christmas and springtime for you.
So I take Nell to meet the source of his worries face to face.
Are you ready? For the jeepney.
This we're told, is the future of public transport in Manila.
So this is the e-jeepney, and it's the modern jeepney. So it's all electric, so that's why it's quiet. It has no emissions, no pollution, no smoke. So no noise, no smoke, no problem. The other difference is it'll have an automatic fare collection system machine, so that the payment system is cashless. Okay, so you don't have to worry about 1, 2, 3. What we call 1, 2, 3.
Passing the money up.
Yeah, and
though I do like how it's in the same location as this guy who passes the money to the driver.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and you don't have to worry about people going for freebies.
People will be caught, yeah?
Yeah, he said that sometimes people look at his cash box funny, and sometimes they take it. So that's very dangerous, right?
As well as a card reader, it'll have Wi-Fi and air conditioning, which will make life much more comfy for its passengers.
How about the music radio?
Of course, of course. That's the number one concern of the driver always, and the passenger is the music.
Wow.
So we have a stereo system and speakers also, not installed right now, but of course that's the number one thing that the drivers and the passengers want.
But there's really only one way to convince Nell once and for all. We're taking this baby for a spin. And here we go! Yeah! You're smiling. Why are you smiling? Are you having
happy.
fun? Happy?
No sounds, no engine sound, very quiet.
You can just focus on driving and listening to your music, yeah?
Yes.
Whoa, okay, that was close. Okay, so it's more minibus than jeepney, but what it lacks in the charm and history that its ancestor had, it more than makes up for in its green credentials. It's thought the process of replacing the older vehicles will start later this year. With that rolled out, and the new underground under construction right now, Manila's roads could be a very different place in just a few years' time. Woohoo! So now that you know how to get around, here's our guide of things you can see and do the next time you find yourself in Manila. Intramuros, or the Walled City, is the most obvious attraction, especially for history fans. It used to be the seat of government when the Philippines was ruled by Spain. These days, you can see the best of what it has to offer on a guided walking tour.
Let me welcome you all to Intramuros!
The best known is Carlos Cedron's Walk This Way tour, which is part history lesson
This flag did not exist yet because this flag was a symbol of our rebellion against Spain.
and part performance art. The Black Nazarene is the Philippines' most revered holy relic, and it's kept in the central Quiapo Church. It's a life-size statue of Jesus on his way to crucifixion, and it's regarded by some Filipinos to be miraculous. Just a touch of it can cure disease, they say. Every January, up to 12 million worshippers turn up to carry the Nazarene through the streets in an event called the Translacion, a truly spectacular sight. When you're ready to eat, we can heartily recommend one of these dampa markets dotted around the city. It's quite strange how this works. You can pick any of this fresh seafood you want. It's not a normal fish market. That's not where it ends. You take it from here and you bring it over to the restaurant over here and they cook it for you. Fresh. It's reasonably priced and it's incredibly quick.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world.
Finally, it's a stereotype that Filipinos are born entertainers, but one thing's for sure, they definitely like their karaoke. You'll find singing opportunities right across the city, everywhere from bars to hotels to department stores. But if that's not hardcore enough, try your hand at videoke, a slightly more competitive version that scores your performance.
I can say total eclipse of the heart. total eclipse of the heart.
Still to come on the travel show.
Tasting the smog of some of the world's dirtiest cities.
We weren't allowed to use the real pollution within the domes because if we pumped in carbon monoxide and nitric oxide, we'd actually kill people.
Hello.
And I eat at a Manila restaurant that aims to make me a calmer, happier, better person.
So, don't go away.
This week I'm exploring the Filipino capital, Manila. Noisy, busy, bustly, but full of character.
Smells good. Like jasmine almost.
This is Quiapo Church, and around is its eccentric market. The biggest religion in the Philippines is Christianity, thanks to the arrival of the Spanish in the 16th century. But what's really fascinating is how that's kind of meshed together with the indigenous religions to create a unique mix.
There's a service happening at Quiapo Church today, which is why the square is very busy. It's filled with stalls selling everything. Altars, relics, folk medicine, and wishing candles?
Yeah. Taxis.
So each color means a different wish. Travel, love, money.
This one?
Love? Do I need love?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure. So Tess recommended pink for love. I wanted travel or success, but she seems to think that I need the pink one. More from Manila in a moment.
Time now for Trending Travel, your monthly mashup of the best travel-related stories, snaps and videos online. As air pollution continues to make headlines, visitors to London recently had the chance to sample the smog of other world cities. It's courtesy of these pollution pods installed at Somerset House.
Within each pod, there's a pollution from different cities in the world. It's not just a question of the pollution being greater or lesser. It's also a question of what makes up that pollution. So for example, in London, we have diesel emissions, whereas in Sao Paulo, where they use ethanol as their main fuel, we have a very kind of vinegary sense to the air. We weren't allowed to use the real pollution within the domes because if we pumped in carbon monoxide and nitric oxide, we'd actually kill people. So we've had to recreate all of the pollutions using safe chemicals. We've had requests from China, from Oslo, from Paris. So we really do plan to take this around different cities in the world.
The exhibit has now finished, but visitors can still see the Union Jack flag installed on the roof. It reacts to London's air quality, turning a dirty grey when the city is particularly polluted. Lovely. If any millennials are heading south of the capital, they may want to grab their flat caps and their flat whites and visit a popular UK seaside destination that has been nominated the world's most hipster city. Brighton came top of a survey by relocation website MoveHub. It ranked nearly 450 cities, comparing the amount of cafes, record stores and vintage shops against the number of residents. If you're prone to bouts of homesickness, this nomad couple have found a novel solution. They bring their home with them. The Tiny House Expedition launched in 2015, and since they've clocked up more than 40,000 miles all across the United States, updating their site with posts and vlogs.
I was in a transitional period in my life and I was looking for more simplicity and more flexibility, and a tiny house really seemed to fit the bill.
And I was all about it, absolutely all about it.
He just had two conditions.
My bed and an air conditioner.
We have both.
We have both. In our travels across the United States and Canada, we have met hundreds of tiny house owners.
Thanks to everyone who sent us their pictures this month using the hashtag #TravelTuesday. Here are some of my favourites. Leanne took this stunning nighttime vista in Prague, while Bijay took this restful sunset in India's busiest city, Mumbai. Don't forget to check out our Twitter and Facebook pages for loads of extra special travel show content you won't see anywhere else. Now let's look at the travel videos clocking up the views online. This year, America's jazz capital, New Orleans, is celebrating its 300th anniversary.
I was really drawn to the community here, the culture. I wanted to document that celebration of life and that rich history.
And if you see anything you think we should know about, don't forget to get in touch. It's at BBC Travel Show.
Now, the wider Metro Manila region is actually made up of 16 cities in total. And this is the largest. It's called Quezon. Right in the middle lies this place. It's Maganhawa Street, known for all its food stands and restaurants.
You sell poutine here?
Yes, sir.
See? Do you like it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you know what we call it in Canada? We call it fat salad. Fat salad, because it's French fries, gravy, and I guess bacon here. But this place makes Maganhawa a little bit different than the rest. My shoes go in a fridge. Let's go.
Before you even think of picking up a menu here, you're encouraged to get involved.
Oh, hi, welcome to Van Goes Bipolar.
Hi.
Yeah, are you checking around?
Dining alone tonight, yeah.
All right, okay. So first, I'll have to give you a map and for you to look around the place if you like.
Step 1, take off your footwear. Check. Step 2, you're the life server.
Yeah, I am the life server. By the way, my name is Maricar.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and I'll be serving you tonight.
Step 3,
Yes.
pick a hat and wear it.
Yes.
It's like a performance in which you play a part. You choose a hat, make yourself a tee to match your mood, and write a message on the wall.
So I write my deepest, darkest secret on the wall for everybody to see. Privacy, please. Come on now, guys.
Van Gogh is bipolar is the brainchild of this man. Jetro Raphael is himself bipolar. It's a condition that used to be known as manic depression and can make your mood swing from one extreme to the other. But Jetro says this place is his therapy.
Mike, welcome to my kitchen. I call it the Cuckoo Kitchen.
Why the Cuckoo Kitchen?
Well, because I'm crazy. But it's just, you know, what I've learned and what I'm still learning in life. You have to somehow embrace your being, your authentic being, and with no shame. It has to be with grace and unconditional love. Before Van Gogh is bipolar, I was on the brink of committing suicide. And I do not see any ray of light. And all I see is the darkness. I'm just so negative, very pessimistic. And most of the time, I do not like people. I do not like being with people. And I couldn't believe that here I am right now, talking to the world, sharing my story. Oh, I created this medicine, natural medicine, and it's mood healing nutrition. So the diet is designed scientifically and nutritionally to activate specific neurotransmitters in the brain like dopamine, serotonin, gamma-aminobutyric acid, etc., known to make you happy and calm.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
This is actually Jetro's home too. He lives upstairs, and during the day he opens his restaurant to the community, feeding some, employing others. These local street kids can turn up for a hot meal whenever they want, and the in-house musician is a blind beggar approached by Jetro. Even the waiting staff have mental health conditions. Maricar has twice attempted suicide.
So, since I was diagnosed with mental health condition, my family was been distant to me. So it was only Jetro who had given me some hopes. So last year, during my last suicide attempt at the hospital, my family didn't came. So after that, I decided to myself, if someone were going to, believe in me in some way, then life goes on.
So with all these stories, it's easy to forget that this is a restaurant that serves food. When you order, you tick a box to reflect the mood you want to achieve. And back comes the dishes that Jethro thinks will help.
For your main course, it's actually meant to make you calm. For tonight, it's made out of free-range chicken and fresh lamb from the farm of Jethro. That is your rice. It's called Black Mountain rice. It's one of the healthiest and rarest rice here in the Philippines.
All topped off with an alcoholic egg shot.
Hey, Tagay! Tagay!
No pressure, no pressure. Here we go. Ready? Oh!
Hey, my man. How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
How's your experience?
It was delicious, delicious. You've come a long way. This restaurant for you has done what? What do you think you've achieved in life?
Life is more simple now, and that's a big change. Now I see me, I hear me, I feel me. The space serves as a safe haven for the community, for people who are lost, who are abandoned, and also we give them that sacred space that they needed, where they feel accepted, celebrated, and unconditionally loved.
Okay, that's all for this week, but next week we're back in the Middle East. With another chance to catch Rajan's trip to Abu Dhabi, exploring its urban and desert landscapes.
You know what? I've been looking at one of the world's highest and steepest sand dunes for a while now. I really want to reach the top.
It is quite a ride. And don't forget, you can find a lot of our stuff online. You can see links to our recent trips on the website, and you can share and follow us on social media as much as you want. But for now, from all of us in the Philippines, see you later, and bye-bye.